Oh, I forgot my hat.
Oh, no.
People are going to see that I'm bald.
That's mine.
Oh, that is yours? Sorry. It's funny. I even saw him sitting there and thinking, man, I'm going to mess this up. And I did.
Your head blinded you.
Yes. I apologize for the bright sunshine this morning, everybody.
Well, we need it because it's a little muggy outside.
It is pretty nasty.
This thing is not happy, I don't think, still. Stop standing behind me, that's weird. Oh boy. You made like an extra large area here.
I did. Ish. Yo.
Oh, you just gotta angle it down a little bit.
Yes, for the short people.
Well, then they can't see your bald head.
Let's do that.
I feel so short. That's okay. I don't mind being short. Look, I don't have my brace on today.
I have a brace on.
You know what that means? I should punch you in the face.
You should. Oh, speaking of punching me in the face.
Speaking of.
Look at my cup.
Thank you.
It's kind of awesome.
Punch me in the face.
Punch me in the face.
I got to punch Phil in the face the other day.
Yes.
It was glorious.
She did, which is where this came from.
Oh, I
don't
left
even know
a
if you
mark?
can. Yeah, if you can
That's
see
awesome.
it. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it anymore? Is it still bruised?
A
I can
little bit.
feel it, man. I can feel it. Every once in a while, I'll go like scratch my face. I'm like, ow. Yeah,
Yes.
my nose was bruised.
Yeah, when we were doing the awareness and
You walloped me pretty good. What were we doing?
we were doing the awareness and safety class and we were breaking wrist grabs and, well, I broke it a little bit too aggressively. It's glorious.
Right in the nose,
Yeah, Vincent.
right in the eyeball.
So you're
Vincent
saying we have permission.
Leone.
I mean, makes sense.
I missed that. What was that?
Workman says, so we have permission to punch you in the face.
Yes, I mean my cup says so. So our super awesome student made these for us.
She
And,
handmade these.
yes.
Look at that.
Pretty freaking cool. Hers says Madam Sentinel. I love that saying. I know you
No,
love it but hate it, but
Yeah, because, Lady Sentinel was just to be like, hey, we're all female guardians, essentially. But then it turned into like, this is me, and it's all of us. So I love it and I hate it. I love it because all the, I don't know, it's just become like one of those endearing names.
Yeah.
And I definitely appreciate it, but we got geese.
the geese have arrived.
So, good morning, Mom.
Good morning.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Things to consider after buying a gun, right?
Yes. Things to buy, things to consider owning, because you don't always have to buy things. Sometimes people give them to you because they have an abundance of crap in their basement. But
Have I done that?
I
Have
came
I ever
across-
left you crap?
oh my gosh, Liz, don't you need this? You'll set it on my desk, and it's like,
That way I don't have to throw it away. Because if I'm going to throw it away, I just put it on her desk and be like, hey, this could be useful. What do you mean it could be useful? You could use it to do something with. Little plastic bags.
and then if I throw it away, he gets mad at me because I threw away his
A
gift.
gift. I gifted you this Ziploc bag.
Oh, the
and you
wad
just
of
throw-
cords that you gave.
Oh, yes. I did.
gosh.
They were all useful. It's wasteful to just throw them away. I had a whole bunch of extra USB cords, USB A to C and minis and micros and all this stuff.
And then they landed on my desk.
And I was like, here, you need these. What can you do with them? And she was like, no. Threw them away. And I said, no. And I took them out of the trash. Can't do that.
So true.
Can't throw that stuff. It was useful. It's just
Let's see here.
wasteful.
Liz has a love-hate relationship with attention. That's not wrong. Buy all the accessories because the more you pimp it out, the better you shoot, right? Oh my gosh. So, that's interesting.
Oh, man.
So, one thing. Hold on. I
have a story about this, too.
You see some people buy like super awesome, badass guns. And thinking that,
Sorry. I tried to inhale my coffee.
don't die. We've already had this conversation once this year. You know, you see people buy a lot of expensive guns or gear or all this or all that, and you know, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I think that your skills highlight that gear the way that it's supposed to be much better if you know how to use them.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that you know how to use them okay. Like, for example, a staccato. Or, in my experience, I bought a Glock 40 or 34 a while ago. And, you know, longer slide and bigger gun and all, you know, I thought it was the gun that I needed at the time. I had shot minis a little bit. I liked it. And then when I was shooting it, I would get malfunctions like crazy, and it was giving me trouble. I also have the same issue with staccatos. At least I did. I need to shoot them, but through the past couple of years, my grip has developed substantially, and I can run guns way better now. And I don't have those same issues, you know. And I don't know that it's not my strength and my grip either. If anything, I feel like I've lost grip strength, but my technique has gotten way better, and my application of my support hand and just so the guns themselves run better. They're easier to shoot for me, and it doesn't really matter what gun you put in my hand. I can use it and use it pretty well. So I need to shoot a staccato. No, that is a bad idea.
That's a great idea.
No, it's not.
I'll tell you what.
I
struggle with staccato, and I mean, obviously it's a great gun, right? It's a very good gun. I really hope you guys can hear that. There's a 50-yard gash going on the roof right now between geese. Because of how I grip a gun with my right hand, I don't disengage the safety. I have the hardest time. Now, I was talking to somebody about this a while ago, like, hey, great gun. It just doesn't work for me. He's like, well, they make other safeties for that reason. Bigger safeties, different designs, different sizes, all that sort of things for somebody who doesn't squeeze the gun as tight. And that's just with the way that I grip a gun, they just don't work for me without that. And obviously I've not explored that much. I think we lost.
I think the geese took out our internet.
The geese took out the internet.
It sounded like they're already up there. They're just having a war right now.
Yeah.
They knocked our internet out.
Yeah. All right.
So
anyway, but that's a whole nother side point.
But how often do people buy gear, like a lot of gear? Because this can go both ways. Like sometimes people buy a gun and then not consider the other things that they need, like a safe or ammo or training. But then some people go full on and buy everything they can think of, and then it's, you know, all for naught really, because, you know, some of the stuff they don't even want, or when they shoot the gun, they find out that they don't want it or need it, or it's just causing more of a pain point than what it was supposed to help with at the beginning.
Yesterday in Defensive Handgun 1, we're just doing dry fire stuff, and I'm just helping people with grips and, you know, adjusting their grips a little bit. I have the student move his hand up, and he's like, I don't want to put my hand there. I have a gas pedal here. I said, get rid of the gas pedal. I said, it's dumb. What are you going to do with it? He said, I'm going to push my thumb into it. I said, you're wrong. Don't do that.
Did you point at him?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I booped him in the nose when I did it, too. And he looked at me like, but it makes me shoot better. I said, no, it doesn't. You know, he didn't say that, but that's what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
And you know, it's in my opinion, no real need for it at all, and it just was putting his wrist in a weird spot.
And it doesn't help you develop the skill correctly, because you're always going to be relying on that handicap. So what if you get a gun without a gas pedal, or you don't want to buy a custom-made holster that accepts a gas pedal? You know, all the things. So I like to be able to shoot a gun without accessories on it pretty well. Anyway, so let's read a couple comments here.
Good. How about it?
Hi, Gordon. Good morning.
Good morning.
We are back. It sounded like they landed on the roof. Yeah, I think I already said that one, but yeah.
You did.
Tell students the gun is
Ooh, that was almost bad.
Too bad that wasn't on
I
camera.
almost had buy a whole bunch of 45 ACP self-defense ammo.
I tell students the gun is the entry drug into the firearms world. It only gets pricier from there. It doesn't have to, though. I mean, yes, you do. There are some other things to buy. And yes, you're right. It's addicting. So It's like being at a candy store here. There's all kinds of stuff. Your gas pedal makes you feel good. Yeah, I like my gas pedal too, my real one. I don't have a gun gas pedal. Anyway, so what other things would you want to buy as like a first time gun owner?
What should you buy?
What should you buy?
So, let's start with the obvious. Ammo, right? Ammo, and typically it's, if you can afford the little bit extra outlay of cash, buy it in bulk, right? I mean, that's just you're going to go through it. People will say, damn, I just bit my tongue. People will say, I'm going to buy 1,000 rounds. 1,000 rounds? I'm never going to go through 1,000 rounds.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
Please.
Gosh, dang. I mean, Vinny bought 1,000 rounds Monday. It's probably all gone.
Probably all gone.
Yeah. All right. Next week we're shooting over 1,000 rounds each for handguns. I mean, it's not
so
that
sad.
much. That's really not that much. And you can,
If you shoot your gun.
if you shoot your gun, yes. And that's something you can go through. I mean, yesterday in class we went through 200-ish rounds or so, and that was very structured over several hours. It'd be very easy to come in here in 45 minutes or an hour and just blast away, which isn't the best use of the ammo typically. I will tell people that sometimes I don't think there's nothing wrong with just going, there it goes again.
Yep.
I gave it a thumbs up, and it gave me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Just going down there and just ripping on the trigger just to feel good, that's fine. But and you could do that with 200 or 300 rounds in no time. And obviously, there's ways to use that more effectively and efficiently.
Sometimes I do that. Like the other day, I went to go zero all my guns to make sure that they were good, and I brought my small sack down, my ammo sack down, and it probably had, I don't know, 350 rounds in it. I mean, like, I just shot through all of them. I just kept loading magazines, kept shooting. But I get a lot of value from just shooting my gun because of my requirement to release the tension. If I am just shooting my gun without any special drills or accuracy thoughts or speed thoughts, just shoot the gun. But I am consciously thinking about relaxing behind the gun, focusing on my grip, relaxing my shoulders and all that sort of thing. So anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yes.
But, okay, so ammo, because you need to shoot your gun.
Yes.
And, when you buy a gun here, you get discounts on all the other stuff. So take advantage of that.
Cleaning gear. Mm-hmm. Cleaning gear. You don't need a gigantic kit, right? A very basic kit of solvent and oil or a CLP. It's an oil-based thing that does both cleaning and lubricating.
Bore snake.
A bore snake and a couple of brushes. If we're talking handguns, a toothbrush kind of thing, and a rag. Whoa, what'd you just do?
Don't worry about that. It's okay.
Don't worry about that. It doesn't need to be anything super complicated, right? You don't need a bunch of jags and a whole bunch of bore brushes and patches and all this stuff. Get a bore snake, gets rid of all that other extra crap. Bore snake, solvent, oil, rag, toothbrush, done. Right? Now, is a regular toothbrush okay to use? Sure. The bristles are usually pretty darn soft. They sell brushes. We sell brushes that have stiffer nylon brushes. There it goes again. And that makes cleaning easier, along with a brass brush or something like that. If you get something super fouled. Typically on handguns, outside of you shooting your gun with really nasty ammo for a really long time, you don't typically need more than a nylon brush. I don't think.
No.
So those would be two easy, obvious choices. If you are a newer shooter, a freaking class, man. I mean,
sure.
Spend the money. It is $135 very well spent for a basic pistol class. You will leave there knowing more about your handgun and being able to shoot better than a lot of people who are self-taught and been shooting for a long time. It is way undervalued.
And it's more efficient, and it costs you less money because over time and through the years, you spend all this money on ammo, trying to correct little things or not realizing that you're correcting it the wrong way. You know, like, oh, I'm going to aim high right to. So I've I thought about this in a different way recently. Just a little bit of time on a squirrel moment. You know, everybody thinks the aim is so important, and it's like, well, I got to aim my gun. I have good aim. It's, you know, all this other stuff. So I think that equates to, if I'm not hitting the bullseye, I need to aim differently, and there my aim is true, because then it's going where I want it to. But truly all you're doing is accommodating what your hands are doing. So your aim is not what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
I promise. So I mean, to your point, like taking some training, whether it be a private lesson or whether it be a basic class. I have had shooters come in for lessons or, you know, a CCW class or something, and they learn something in just the hour that they have been trying to overcome for the past several years, and it was like a game changer for them. And it's just a fundamental. It's just a very basic fundamental. But if you know, if you're not learning from a professional, then and you're just trying to go with the flow, yes, self-teaching is fine. I self-teach myself in a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
but you can
absolutely.
do it faster a lot of times, and depending on what it is, less expensive if you have somebody watching over you doing it. So
Yeah, I think I've used this example before. One of the things that we talk about, one of the concepts that we talk about in Defensive Handgun 1 is understanding your trigger a little bit better, and the mechanics of how it works and how to interact with it and so on. And I had a student, this was several months ago, when he realized about the wall and breaking the trigger and all this stuff. He was like this huge moment for him. I had the same thing yesterday. This guy was like, when we talked about it, he was like, what? He was shooting a nice gun.
Yeah.
He was shooting a PDP, and it blew his brain. And then when we started running the gun fast, you know, initially when he tried to shoot in some sort of a rhythm, he was kind of all over the place. And he started understanding the trigger and not just really slapping at it super hard. And he took his 10 shots, and it was just like, that was freaking awesome.
because you're not so focused on the aim, you're not changing your aim, you're changing your grip and your fingers,
Yeah.
and it's a game changer.
Yes, it's awesome.
So it's pretty massive. So a couple things came up. First off, a range bag. I agree, but hear me out. You can use all kinds of things for a range bag. As much as I want you to come in and buy this new fancy bag off the wall, you can use an old backpack. I've seen shoe boxes. I have seen tackle boxes. I have seen grocery bags. I've seen
What's more important?
Not
plastic ones.
not plastic.
Well, I mean, you can use it for
hold
a
on,
portion of anything.
I'll get there, because there's one of them that
Sorry,
one of them
gosh.
that's really impressive to me. It's the tool carts, like
Hell yeah.
like the
I
pack outs, the
almost
Milwaukee.
bought one
I knew that
yesterday.
was coming.
I almost did. Or not yesterday. What day is today? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. I almost bought one. Almost. I really came close.
Yeah, it's true, and so you can use whatever you want, but dedicate it to the range.
Yeah.
Don't use your reusable Aldi bag and then go home or go to the range, shoot, set it on the ground, set it on the bench, whatever, and then go home and set it on the kitchen counter and unload your groceries from it. That's bad. There's
Yeah,
lead on your
don't-
bags.
Don't do that.
And you need to isolate your range bags to areas that are not your eating surfaces. So
Yes.
last night when I was getting all my gear out, like I was putting my magazines on the table and stuff, and I was like, I put a towel down first just because I don't want all the crap falling on my kitchen table. And so just be weary of that. Med kit was another one. Now I have this thing with med kits. Med kits are important no matter what, whether you have a gun on you or not. Vinny always makes the highlight that, what's the most dangerous thing you did today, when he's teaching class and he gets into the medical stuff? You drove here and you're going to drive home. So I keep a med kit with me everywhere I go, in my bag, in my car, and things like that. And I do keep tourniquets on my belt, and keep medical supplies in my range bag. Obviously we are handling a tool that's capable of traumatic blood loss. But truthfully, that's not the most dangerous thing you do most days. So
Yeah, I'd have a hard time putting that on the top 10 list, because
yeah.
I mean, if we're choosing a top 10, simply because that also requires more training. Which, I mean, if you know me, you know I'm a huge proponent, just like Liz, of having medical stuff with you all the time and understanding how to use it. But if you just bought a gun today and you're trying to figure out what else to spend the money on, I think there's other stuff to help you get into the world first before medical. I think that if you're really trying to look at this from a defensive standpoint, especially, I think it's pretty important that you at least consider it.
Am I distracting you?
Yes, you are distracting me.
Sorry. Trying to read all the stuff. Lots of people talk about medical.
Yeah, and trust me, I'm not discounting that. Medical is definitely important, but if you have Bob or Susan come in here to buy their very first gun, I don't think taking them over and showing them a trauma kit.
Sure.
Here, you bought a gun, now buy a trauma
I know.
kit. All right, that's just a little off. Speed loaders, I think, are a great thing.
Yeah,
I think that's a
speed
great suggestion. I think that's something people often like, oh, I don't need that. Man,
Yes,
I
you
tell
do.
you what. I mean, I know I made sure I packed mine for next week.
I got to.
I load magazines all the time. I'm very comfortable loading magazines with my fingers. But after a day of shooting a lot, it's freaking annoying, and I'm using my speed loader. I'm using my speed loader for sure.
Eye and ear protection.
Iron Ear Pro, yep, that's one of the big
Absolutely.
ones. And buy some decent stuff. Do you have to buy a $400 set of ears? No. Do you even need electronic hearing protection? No, you don't. I think it's hugely advantageous if you're ever going to take a class. It's a good thing to have. Definitely not necessary. Buy some decent eye protection too. You know, the $2 or $3 or whatever it is that we sell downstairs are fine for a use or two, but they scratch super easy. They're
fog up.
They're safety glasses. You know, they're very they have no coatings on them to help with fogging or anything like that. You spend $30 on a set of glasses, they'll last you a long time, as long as you don't lose them. But they'll last you a long time, and you can typically try different ones to see, hey, these fit my face well. Because glasses that fit her face may not fit my big fat head. I don't know. It's
all that brain
important
power.
That's it. That's it. Yes.
Crap, I just had one. Oh, some way of transporting your gun. So a lot of times guns are sold with little cases, depending on the brand and stuff like that. Like SIG has nice cases, you know, Glock has nice cases minus the clips.
Yeah, the clips fall off.
Clips
all
are
the time.
always the pain in the butt. But if you have like a little pistol rug or something, which is like the zip up soft shell cases, those are kind of nice.
Oh, I can't. Never mind.
Grab a speed loader while you're over there too.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, my neighbor is a leather worker, and he made us a personalized one. It's beautiful leather. It smells so good. It says Starks on the front, and God, I'll have to bring it in and show you guys. It is beautiful. Anyway, squirrels. So get you something to carry the gun in to and from the range, because you know if you don't have a range bag and you're just coming in with just your gun, you're gonna buy ammo here, whatever. Please don't walk in with it in your hand. I know it's kind of crazy to think that you're coming to a gun range, so why couldn't you just have a gun in your hand? But we don't know if you're coming in to rob the place.
Yeah,
or
don't
you
do
just
that.
want to shoot
That's
your
a bad
guns.
idea.
So do not walk in to the range with a gun in your hand, please.
This is what we call a pistol rug. Right, just a little bag. Zoop! And you can put your pistol in there.
Thank you for your demonstration. Don't do it. Ow.
It's like a dunce cap. It's awesome.
Oh, I have a dent in my forehead.
Aww.
Hold on. Okay, so you're going to talk about a holster.
Yep.
That's fine, because now I tell people this sometimes if you keep like an individual pistol safe, like one of the, I'll go get it.
Wait, one of these?
Yeah. If you want to keep it like next to your bed or have some sort of ability to maybe store it loaded, you need to be mindful of your trigger. If your gun is loaded, be mindful of your trigger. You can do this a couple ways. If you want to put something like this next to your bed or wherever you find useful to have a loaded gun, know that if your gun is loaded and chambered, how's that gun gonna fire? pressing the trigger. So if you frantically need to get your gun out, if someone's kicking in your front door and you're trying to grab your gun and it's loaded, I hope that you have had practice doing that. At the very least, you can get a holster and put the gun into that holster. That's how I do. I put my gun in a holster and I leave it in that safe.
I don't do that.
That's fine.
And that's totally fine.
I have early warning systems. I have an alarm system. I have cameras, and I have a German Shepherd. So I have that. I don't envision somebody just, you know how we always visualize like this person standing over you with a gun in your hand, pointed at you. But you know, like I practice getting my gun out too. So it's.
Now, when I have this exact safe in my truck, and if I have to use it, I don't use it as a storage place to keep a gun in all the time. If I have to use it, I take my whole holster off and put the gun in the holster, and it stays hot, right? It stays loaded.
Unless you got your Enigma on.
So that's what I was just going to say. I'm wearing my Enigma right now. I don't wear mine nearly as often as you do.
That's the only holster I wear.
But on days like today, I left the gym, came here, I'm wearing sweatpants, right? I'm wearing my Enigma. I couldn't do that. So that honestly got me thinking as I was saying it, like, do I want to? I don't know. If I had to go somewhere right now where I had to take my gun off, I would probably take my Enigma off just so I'm not pointing a gun at myself, a hot gun at myself. I take the whole Enigma off, get it out, get my gun out, unload it, put it in my safe. I'd feel a little weird putting a loaded gun without the trigger protected in that safe.
And that's it? Because it's in your car and you don't have that same like...
Yeah, I think so. I think just because there's something being pressed on it, and it has the ability to move around. You know, like it goes under a seat, and then I got to pull it out, and I don't know.
It's the same thing next to your bedside, though. If something knocks it over, I mean, it's less likely it's not getting jostled.
I don't have that. I have something different. I have a shelf that my gun's sitting on in a safe. But
it just depends on your situation. But the big picture of that, good morning, Ritz, is to be mindful of your trigger making the gun go bang.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to protect your trigger, practice getting it out and so extreme. When I say practice, I mean like actually do it. Yeah. Unload your gun first. Do repetitions of it. Do it once or twice a week to maintain that. Every time you put it in there, be very mindful of which directions it's always in the same direction. So that way you're never going to get foiled if you have to get that thing out fast. So that's one benefit to having a manual safety. I'm not saying that I choose to have a manual safety, but that is, and I'm not saying treat it don't treat it carelessly. That's my biggest issue with safeties is, it's got a safety on it. I can treat it
that's not true.
I can treat it like a safe gun, and that's not the case. We always treat the gun the same way, whether it has safety or not. But in my mind, it does give that little extra bit of security. But again, what else are you sacrificing?
I have such a hard time with manual safeties on defensive guns.
Me too. I don't have one.
I really do. I know. And we tell people all the time, like, if you want to make the choice, that's fine. Just understand what you're giving up and that you can use it. I think we talked about this on Monday, maybe, but a young lady that was in a class recently, the safety on her gun on the new, I know some people like them, I just don't. The brand new Bodyguard 380 double stack, the new one, 2.0, whatever the heck they call it. The safety on her gun, I have relatively strong hands, right? I feel like my grip is pretty good. My thumb dexterity is pretty good. I could not manipulate the safety on her gun with one freaking hand. I had to reach over it and grab a hold of both safeties to move it, to turn the gun off or on. That's freaking terrible. Mm-hmm. That is terrible. A gentleman in class yesterday struggled, shot really well. His draw to first shot was like 4 or 5 seconds because he could not work the safety on his P320. That gun does not need a freaking safety.
We had a couple ladies in Lady Sentinel that were having trouble with the safety too because, when they shoot the gun, they don't really worry about the safety. And I get it. A lot of people buy guns with safeties on them thinking, especially if they're at that newer...
Or DASA.
Or DA... Oh, yeah. Double action, single action. So
Yeah.
And whenever you're getting ready to run the stage, if you have a safety, you got to use it. And that's for holster stuff and everything here. Or if you have a double action, single action, you have to decock it to put it in that double action condition if it doesn't have a safety on it. So that was a wake up call to a couple of ladies. And so, trying to pull the trigger on a double action gun if you're not used to doing it, that was a bit of a struggle. Or just remembering the safety a few times. So that was what I wanted for competition like that, is to enlighten people to their gear and their tools and everything like that. So those are good things. They're struggles, but those struggles help us understand what we really need. But then, if you think about people buying an AR-15 and they go and put all the stuff on it, I mean, you can put
whatever you want,
40 pounds of crap on it, and you're like, I have the most decked out rifle ever. You're probably right. And then try to carry it. Yeah. Try to shoulder it and try to do this and see what gets in the way. I've been battling trying to put a shotgun on my 1301, to prepare for a class.
Put a shotgun on
your
your
flashlight. Sorry. You want a little shotgun with your flashlight? And just getting my grip on it and everything, that's going to tear the skin off my thumb and all this stuff. And, there's a lot of things to think about. So ask people about stuff like that. Before you buy a bunch of stuff, watch reviews, see if people let you shoot their gun, because that stuff gets expensive. And while it looks super cool sometimes, if it's not practical and you're only getting the sacrificial element of the weight or the annoyance of it, then don't spend the money. So extra magazines.
Yeah, we got off topic a little bit. Extra magazines is
I didn't put a top 10 for a very specific reason, because
well, I'm just saying we went on a tangent about safeties and stuff.
Well, it's part of it. Yeah.
But yes, extra magazines, huge.
Do it.
Buy extra magazines. If most of the time guns come with 2 or 3, you need more than that. If you're going to train with a gun at all. If this is you've already got all this stuff that we're talking about, and this is your 3rd or your 4th gun, and this is a gun you are getting just because, it's cool looking and I really like it, not something you're going to carry or something you're going to train with or whatever, then the 2 or 3 magazines a gun comes with is probably fine. If this is your first gun and you're going to be shooting it, you need extra magazines for a couple of reasons. One, if you're keeping it loaded for home defense or whatever, or your concealed carry, you don't want to have to unload the magazine each time you come in to shoot. Having extra magazines is good for that. If you misplace them, they are little bitty things. They're easy to lose. They're not always easy to find, right? If it's a Glock or a SIG or M&P or something, then it's probably pretty easy to find magazines. But for pretty much anything else, it can be tough at times. And magazine capacities are always one of these things that are kind of on the teetering edge of being legislated against. So to have a plethora of them could be a good thing. It'd be advantageous for you. I was loading up for class next week, and I just kept grabbing mags and throwing them. Next thing I knew, I had 18 magazines sitting.
I was going to ask you how many. I had 17.
I don't know exactly how many. I had a lot, and I actually took some of them out, and I'm going to put them in my backup bag.
Oh, I was going to say, you are not leaving those.
Yeah, I have a separate bag for all my backup gear, for extra stuff. I will have extra magazines in there. So I think that's a great one. Extra magazines is huge. Holsters. So I grabbed a holster. This is super important if you're going to carry a gun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You're going to carry a gun.
Don't do the felon carry. Have you ever heard it called that?
Yes.
Felon carry. Don't do that.
This is a must-have thing, right? Not necessarily Filster brand or whatever, but a freaking quality holster. Okay?
He's pointing.
I'm pointing at you in my brain, so hopefully you can see that. You. Get a freaking holster and spend, what does this cost? This is $60.
This is a great holster for $60.
Fantastic holster.
Do it.
Spend the money. Can you buy something else that has holster on the package that's $14.99? Yes. You can buy it. and then you can throw it in the garbage because
Yeah.
that's all it's good for.
And you're going to be very confused at why you can't conceal a gun,
Oh,
or why you
gosh, dang it.
are in pain.
Spend good money on good gear. I mean, now, again, holster, not necessarily a must-have thing unless you're going to carry your gun or if you're going to train with a gun, right? If you're going to take outside of basic or intermediate, you know, I think we talked about this maybe even on Monday. Like, hey, I know that the course requirement said I need an outside waistband holster, but it's okay if I don't have one, right?
No.
It's not. It's not.
Could you imagine if we showed up for class and were like, we didn't bring a holster.
Yeah.
We don't need one,
I don't
right?
need a holster. Yeah.
GTFO.
And that's what it'd be. You're done.
Yeah.
Get
See you
out.
later. No money back.
I had somebody show up for class yesterday, and he's like, and he seemed very apologetic. He's like, dude, I grabbed. He brought 2 guns to class.
Nice.
That was good.
Grabbed the wrong
He's
holster.
like, but I only have inside waistband holsters with me. I didn't grab my outside waistband. I was like, okay, I had something he could use. Then he was like, hey, I only have 2 magazines for this gun. Well, I guess you're going to use the other gun. And let me go find another holster.
We understand accidents happen, but if you
Yeah.
intentionally just like, meh.
Yeah.
Well,
We had somebody, this was a couple years ago, she showed up with no belt, no holsters, no magazines. I think she had a gun. She ended up using my battle belt. Like, she had nothing.
she got lucky.
She did get lucky.
Oh, I got another thing.
Okay. Snap caps.
Are you guys still with Thunder like that?
Well, because you can't find them.
We're out of 9 mil.
Just grab
Okay.
380.
God's caliber.
Let's get that,
Snap caps.
that full 5.
Dummy rounds, snap caps. Do you know there's
Why?
actually a difference?
Yes, it's
Silly.
dumb, but
Well,
yes.
if it's a 22, it matters. But anyway.
You can't get 22 snap caps.
Yes, you can. 100% you can. I have them. I'll show you. They're bright orange and they're plastic. They're awesome.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway,
Phil's
holy
bald.
crap. We got a lot of people talking. Hey,
Hey,
Dad.
who am I?
He's gonna call you Vinny.
Who said, "Holy crap, Phil's bald"?
Rhino, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Jim. Anyway, so these are fantastic training aids if you're learning how to load magazines or you're learning the function and cycle of your gun. These are completely inert. They don't make noise. They don't fire anything. Great options for practicing loading your magazines, loading your gun, unloading your gun.
And it's so valuable.
Oh yeah.
So valuable,
Sure.
especially if you're new. You've just taken a basic pistol class. I mean, one of the biggest things we see people struggle with is loading magazines and racking sights. Those are 2 gigantic skills in the basic pistol class. And to be able to go home and practice that with the safety of an inert thing that you're putting in your gun. Don't practice at home.
No.
Loading your
No.
gun with freaking real ammo.
No.
No. There you pointed. I'm so proud of you.
No.
I want you to do it
Don't
one more time with conviction.
No.
With mom voice.
No.
Not at me.
I don't even point at my kids.
So, I do.
You can imagine.
Get some dummy rounds. It's a valuable skill to learn how to do. And it sounds so silly. Like
Oh,
you're
it's
just
not,
racking a
no.
slide. Just racking a slide. Yesterday, defensive 1, we teach malfunctions. And one guy was so used to just like leisurely racking his slide. He created extra malfunctions all the time when we started messing with his gun.
We see that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's where
That's not racking the slide. That's pulling it back and easing it forward. That's not how you do it.
Right. You can get away with it a lot of times,
Yep.
but unless you
things-
need to do it in practice. Earlier, I think it was Brian. He said do competition or classes where you shoot in unconventional positions. And while that's a little out of the scope of our topic today, like that stuff's true because if you're only used to standing up straight and shooting down range, you're right. Like, what if you have to lay down on your side or something and do you turn your gun to the side and like do you know how it's all different. So and it's fun. So
It is fun.
Unconventional shooting position, one of my favorites. Anyway,
Not important for a brand new shooter.
not important for a brand.
Not important for a brand new shooter. You need to learn how you need to learn how to just be competent
Yes.
with your gun
And confident.
And yeah, you need to have the confidence, but you can have confidence and be incompetent.
Yeah.
Right? You need to have both. And just to be safe with the gun and understand where you're pointing it. not talk with your hands while you got a gun in your hand and stuff. Yeah.
What about ammo cans or ammo storage? Because if we say we suggest them get ammo, I mean, ammo cans are kind of nice, especially if you get one with a good seal on it. They can protect your ammo from, humidity. You can throw some of those desiccant packets in there to absorb some of the.
I'm not worried about that at all.
Because we shoot ammo a lot.
No,
but I think over time, especially if they're hollow points or something, I'd rather keep those dry and make sure.
Well, yeah, but it's in a conditioned space in my house. If it's in a garage or a shed or something like that, doesn't have HVAC.
We're in a conditioned space here, but look at the dehumidifiers that we have all over the place. Humidity is. Well,
get over it.
You get over it.
I am.
Okay, me too.
I don't know what else. Suppressors. There you go.
Yeah.
Buy a gun, buy a suppressor. That's
Absolutely.
what you should do.
Yeah.
I think we covered the big stuff. The if you bought a gun today as a brand new shooter, new to this world, cleaning gear, ammo, class, range bag. And again, range bag, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a purpose-built thing. There are advantages to that.
Magazines.
Magazines.
Safe. Some way of storing it. If you don't have kids or anything at home, it's a personal preference, but it's always never a bad idea.
Yeah, I always say that, like, hey, before I was married or even after I was married and before we had kids, right? I had, my shotgun just underneath the bed or handgun just in my nightstand drawer or something. I certainly am not doing that now that I have kids. You need some way, and again, spend a little bit of money on something that's quality. You can get something for $20 or $30 that's a safe. That's it's better than throwing it out there. Now they all come with gun locks. And if you want to use a gun defensively, that's a terrible idea.
Eyes and ears, yes.
Eyes and ears. Oh yeah, that. And it should be so obvious, but it's not. It's not that obvious. But that would be the big thing. I think bought a gun today, at least a extra magazine, cleaning kit, eyes and ears, ammo,
transportation.
Class. What'd you say?
A little pistol rug or something.
Oh, yeah.
It depends on what it might
is.
come in a box or something.
Yeah.
So. Does Smith & Wesson still come in those cardboard boxes? A lot of them do, I think.
I don't know. Yeah, don't use those as a transportation thing.
Shoebox would be better.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think that's all I got to say about that.
It's time to hit the old dusty trail. Okay, well, we got another Punch Fill in the Face Day coming up.
We do.
The 12th.
I don't remember. Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. The 12th. Wait, no, because it's the week after we come back, so it's not next week.
It is the 20th.
20th, I was way off.
Yep.
And the 2nd, so the 20th and the 2nd.
Nope, no, I lied. It's the 19th.
See? Okay.
Wait, yes, it's
Rewind.
the 19th.
Rewind.
19th is a Wednesday day.
Wednesday.
Wednesday day.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
That's how I always remembered how to spell it. Wednesday. Anyway, it's Punch Fill in the Face Day at Crazy Baja. We will be doing some striking, get some free gloves out of it, which we have a great time. That's really what you're going for. We laugh, we cry when Phil gets punched in the face. Just kidding, he cries.
I cry. You cry with laughter.
Yes. And we learn a lot of cool stuff. So since there's 2 of them coming up, Johnny has done an amazing discount promotion. So it's either 1 for $50 or 2 for $75.
Silly.
So,
if ladies,
it's
go
a huge
do
freaking,
it.
Oh my gosh.
Go do it.
Huge
It's so
discount.
much fun. You'll have a great time. And you'll learn some valuable skills. And like we've said a bazillion times, and Johnny will say it that night, this isn't something to say, hey, you've done this twice or 3 times or 4 times now, so you're a super ninja. This is, in my opinion, I hope that you see the value in it, that you can do this, that you can learn to punch, that you can learn to use leverage.
Throw a full-grown man over your shoulder.
Yes.
Easy day.
Yes. And that you come and start doing it, whether it's at this gym or and Johnny will say that. He'll be like, hey, I don't care if you train here. I mean, does he want you to? Sure. You know, that's his gym. That's what they do. But it's more important to him that you get the training, whether it's in, you know, another gym somewhere else, doesn't matter.
Yep.
Right? We feel the same way about firearms training. Do we want you to shoot here? Absolutely we do. We want you to train with us, but we want you to get quality training from anywhere you can. That's what's important. And that's what I hope ladies get out of this and see out of this and feel good about being able to do it. And it's going to be scary. Like I'm pretty sure that's why we have so many no-call, no-shows. However, Johnny got smart, and you now have to pay ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So sign up, show up. It's okay that you're nervous. It's okay that you're scared about doing it. It's a freaking awesome time, and you'll learn a lot.
Everybody that comes in ends up dying laughing throughout the whole thing, and then they leave with just a whole nother
and it's
level
so funny to see people. They walk in the door. You know, it's just like you see new people here. They're like,
yeah.
I think they think they're going to walk in the door. Somebody's going to be like,
clothesline them or something.
Freaking launch them.
It's valid.
It might happen. No, it won't happen.
What else? Oh, we got the basketball thingies.
Oh, yes. So come in, shoot baskets. Boop, boop.
Sold out your hat inventory. Phil's not wearing a hat. I think that's what he's
That's
referencing.
probably, yes. Yeah, so once a day you can come in and shoot baskets. You can either go for either free targets or a discount on ammo, or that center basket, which is the harder one to hit. If you make a basket there, let's just see if I can make a basket. How about basketballs? Oh, there.
All over the place.
All right, this is going to be embarrassing.
Good luck.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
Your form is off.
Oh,
Failed.
So close. But if I had made it, then I get to spin. And I get to win something else. So, members get to...
You could win a free private lesson with Phil.
That's not worth anything. I'm sorry. Damn it, you distracted me. Now I lost my train of thought.
Squirrels.
Oh, members can do it twice a day. Non-members can do it once a day. So every day you come in. If you come in to shoot, why the heck wouldn't you at least try for the 2 free targets?
Point at them. They'll do it then.
Get in here. Get out of the way. You get in here, and you take advantage of the 2 free targets.
If you make it.
You gotta make the freaking basket, though. Make the basket.
There's swag, too.
Oh, yeah. That one I can actually make, because it's right here.
I'm going to laugh. Please do it.
Please do it.
Can you?
Yeah, I made that.
Oh,
Yay!
good job.
I made
And
it.
then you can get some out of the swag bucket back there, a
Yes,
little patch or something.
Do I get this?
No,
Oh.
failed. Anyway.
So that's going on all month. So come in and take advantage of that. It's not March Madness, because we can't say that.
Why did you say it?
Oops. I said, but you can say it when you're not saying it. Can't you?
Mom said that mustache is dope. I don't think I've ever heard you say that word.
You can say, the only time you can say March Madness is when you say you can't say March Madness.
Right.
There we go.
Okay.
So it's a basket bonus. Doesn't have the same ring, but
Trying to get it to
They don't
do a
like
little.
you.
I know. Nope.
watch
Nope.
this. All right. What now, Liz?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yep. I'm gonna push the button. Come on.
Oh.
Thing.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys, this morning. I appreciate your
March unstableness.
unstableness. I like
about
it. If you guys need something, 14803 Manchester Road in beautiful Baldwin, Missouri. 10 to 8, Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 6. You guys stay safe, be nice to one another, and we will catch you soon.
Toodles.
Later.